Now this is the GTI driving that you want to do. Oh my goodness, this thing's quick. Yeah, here we go. Ah! Oh my God, this thing is, this thing's hilarious. You gotta like it. Even the police like this car. Officer just drove by me and gave me a head nod, so he knows what's going on. Welcome to Motor Vault Vehicles for Enthusiasts. I'm Josh, and we present this 1977 Volkswagen Golf GTI, the original Mark 1 Golf, the original pocket rocket hot hatch. If you guys like the video content we produce, give us a like, follow, and a subscribe. The original GTI did not come stateside at all. First one you could get as a Golf GTI was the Mark II in the mid-80s. So finding one of these over here in the US is barely impossible. So good luck finding another one for sale, especially in the condition this one is presented in. We need to take a better look at the original hot hatch. The original Golf GTI was all about being compact, lightweight, extremely simple, but ridiculously fun to drive. And this car, without a question, is under 1,800 pound curb weight. It's only got 108 horsepower and 103 foot-pounds of torque. But that little 1.6 liter absolutely rips because of the lightweight, short chassis nature of this car. It is a hoot to drive, and there is a reason why so many of these cars were turned into race cars over in Europe back in the 1970s and 1980s. This one, presented in diamond silver, looks correct, looks exactly how it should. Very simple, but very classy and very boxy. Under the hood of the GTI is a little 1.6 liter sewing machine, 4-cylinder. Very, very peppy, but very smooth. Great little motors, very reliable. There's a reason why these were daily driven for years and years over in Europe and helped make this car become so popular, and that is why the GTIs are still built today, the popularity and the success of the Mark 1. This one has been fully gone through in the motor. It is ready to rock and roll, basically completely rebuilt, as well as a very nice aluminum radiator with it to keep it a little bit cooler when running on the highway. And I'll tell you what, this motor doesn't look like much, but in this package, oh, it packs a punch. The interior of the GTI is very, very mundane, very basic, but that's with a purpose. These cars were cheap, these cars were fun, and they could get you pretty much anywhere you wanted to go. Still has a cool design 3-spoke steering wheel. One of my favorite features with this car is the golf ball shifter, giving a nod to the Golf name. And obviously the Plaid seats are quite incredible, very fitting for Europe in the 1970s. Obviously the GTI still uses Plaid insert option on their cars today, which is very cool. But there's not too much to it. You hear a bunch of little bit of creaks and rattles, but that's what the fun of this car is. It has character. It's not supposed to be a plush Mercedes S-Class. You have a little pocket rocket that you can go and hit corners with and be smiling ear to ear when driving this car rolling through gears. Go time 1977 Golf GTI. A little Miata with a hatchback. That's what I like to say what this car is. It feels like it. It definitely has the driving characteristics of it. Skinny tires, super lightweight, super responsive. Little tiny 1.6 liter 4-cylinder. Actually, I think that is the same size motor that is in the original Miata. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. I thoroughly enjoy driving this little car. I've been able to drive it a few times, and every time it has a great amount of charm, a great amount of character. And definitely you've got to you gotta romp on it a little bit to get the most out of it. But the good thing is that you can do that with this car, and it will respond lovingly. You know, this car is a lot more spacious on the interior than you think. With it being such a small car, I've got a ton of headroom, and obviously I'm 5'11", so not necessarily the smallest guy in the world. So that's a great feature with it. The seats are decently comfortable. Got a nice shoulder to it. So yeah, it's not a bad little car at all. You know, even in top gear, this car's actually got quite amount of pickup. I'm passing modern cars left and right, and I'm not stretching it out too hard. So in modern traffic, this car is still not bad at all. You obviously hear more and you feel more than most modern cars, but again, that's a part of a little 1970s hatchback. There is not much to it, and I love it. Seeing this car read out in kph is pretty funny, especially coming from seeing pretty much strictly American market cars. So you look down, you see 120, and it's like, oh God, but you realize, no, you're doing just around probably 70, 75 mile an hour. So yeah, it's a fun little ripper. It is quite hilarious actually hearing this car run, because it really does sound like an aggressive sewing machine, which is quite hilarious. Obviously that's just highway speeds, but when you're rolling through the gears in a little bit more of a aggressive setting, it comes to life. And that's really where this car is made for, is that really proper enthusiast driving, where you are flicking this car around, you are making those little tiny tires squeal for life, beg for mercy. You know, I'm actually really shocked at how well this car is doing in normal modern highway traffic. I'm holding speed with other cars just fine. The engine is doing beautifully. That aftermarket aluminum radiator is keeping the temperatures right in check. The ride's pretty good. I'm not really too stressed about anything. It's a great little car, man. This would be a fantastic cars and coffee car, because nobody else will have one, or at least I'd be very shocked. If you find another one of the same cars and coffee, then you might as well be finding two needles in a haystack. That don't happen. Overall, I don't know how anyone can't like one of these cars. They're so cute, they're so boxy, they're so flickable, they're so lovable. I mean, we've had multiple people giving us thumbs up on the highway already. This has been a lot of fun driving this car. Properly fun. This boxy 70s, 80s design has been iconic for years. It is the reason why people have lured after the GTI for so many decades, especially a lot of people who lived over in Europe during the 70s and 80s. That's actually how we got this car. We found this car for a client of ours because his dad lived in Germany in the late 70s and daily drove a silver GTI just like this. A great nostalgia piece. That's why he had it. We are honored to have it back. And I tell you what, when he was over there, I guarantee he went on some long drives, cracked open the back, opened up a German beer, and enjoyed life. In the US, the best you can get for a car like this was a little thing called the Rabbit that had no power, had no sauce, and that is what makes this car so great, because it's that rabbit that ate a lot of carrots, grew into something big, and it was having a lot of fun with the round headlights with the Euro trim. It has such a great look. We are honored to represent this Radwood icon. Hope you guys like the GTI. We for sure do. Give us a like, follow, and a subscribe. You'll see you guys in the next few videos.